organizations, after participating in our diversity experience, they decided that they wanted to create a value statement within their company, which catapulted productivity, catapulted engagement, and it created more locker room conversation. So when we get that up, we'll get started on it. So we decided to title this workshop, this session, the experiences, bringing your A game to the end game. And what we're excited about is that we all have great talent on this call. And what we're attempting to do is to make sure that the outcome is better. That's why I say you're bringing your A game, and we're going to come out with the great end game. So let me see if we can get that video started, and we'll get started.
Rich, poor, north-south divide that seems to be okay here. Many of the stories that I get from viewers happen to be code and quality of life related. And it seems as if communities get frustrated, but they get used to it because they've been ignored for so long. When you can live in a community and complain about illegal dumping on your street for days at a time, that turns into weeks at a time, and then you call the news. I can make one call to City Hall, and within a few hours, the situation that you've been complaining about is cleaned up. That's frustrating, but it's part of the way of life, unfortunately, in parts of our community. You know, as a reporter, we are trained that you keep focused, you deal with the task at hand, and you report the facts, and you get people's perspective. When I'm out on the streets and I'm getting reaction from folks
in regards to race, and from that we created Together We Die. And prior to the pandemic, would all meet at local meeting places, community gathering, whether it's faith fellowship halls or homes of faith, or I'm an attorney in Dallas. I'm a personal injury lawyer, and I was president of the Dallas Bar Association in 2017. And we would have several of these events at our headquarters here in Dallas. But the whole idea was to get people to talk about things that they don't talk about, and to do it in a setting in which we could be productive. So what this is a listening exercise, is what we're about to embark on. And you all, more than anybody else, know that in this country right now, we're using our right to speak quite often. We're not using our right to listen as much as we probably should, myself included. But this is based on listening. And what will happen is we will go into breakout rooms with our facilitators who have handled hundreds of these Together We Dine events. And once you're in your breakout room, your facilitators will pose a question to each person in the breakout room. And each person will get an opportunity to answer a question. And the key to this is it's listening. There's not to be any discussion while folks are answering questions. It is solely for you all to listen. Each one of you will get 2.5 minutes to answer your question. And then once each person has had an opportunity to answer a question, then the facilitator will take you back around the breakout room, and you will get an opportunity to talk about what you heard that struck you, something you agreed with that somebody said, something you disagreed with that somebody said, some experience somebody had that just blew you away, an experience that you might share in your past with that person. And the idea here is, through this listening and appreciating where people are coming from, is that we all think differently, and that's natural. We're human beings. We all have different parents. We come from different communities that have different demographics. We have different mentors and influencers in our life. We've read different books, movies, all of these things which go in, which create not only our perspectives but also our biases that Terry was mentioning. So we all have different ideas on how to get from point A to point B. But the idea is that if we listen to each other long enough, we'll realize that more often than not, we're trying to get to the same place, that point B. Whether it's, we all want safe neighborhoods for our families to live in, whether it's we want wonderful opportunities for our kiddos. We have many of our facilitators are police officers from the North Texas area. We want them, when they pull somebody over on a stop, we want those police officers to leave those stops safely. Likewise, we want the people that are pulled over to leave those stops safely. We may have different ideas about police training, police policy, and so forth, but we want to get to that point B. Most all of us want to get to that same spot. So what we Pastor Butler oftentimes says, and you all will hear from him later, is that what unites us is greater than what divides us, and that is what we are attempting to facilitate as a discussion where we learn about other folks' perspectives, learn that we are different, but that we do ultimately want to get to the same places. Um, and when we have that understanding, then we can make magic happen in this world. So Terry, happy to go further into some of our other projects, but generally speaking, that's what we're going to be doing with the Dime program today.
So as you heard, we're going to go in and we're going to talk about newsroom diversity. We're going to talk about the power of your experience, the power of your influence, and you're going to help us make this place a better place. And we're going to flatten the curve on the lack of larger diversity in the newsroom. So this is going to be exciting. Charlene, I'm calling you out. By the way, guys, I want to thank you for your patience. We are in Texas and the weather is a challenge. So we're working with that. Charlene, have we got all the rooms assigned?
Yes, we are ready. Thank you.
All right, so what you're going to do is you don't have to do anything. All of a sudden, you're going to disappear from the screen and you're going to go into a room and you're going to get a chance to speak to all these great diversity ambassadors. You're going to be in Cosmo's room. You're going to be in Karen's room. We're going to put Darius in a room. I love that hairdo, Darius. I love it. It looks good. And so we're going to put you in great places and you're going to have a conversation. And one of you have to be a volunteer to be a scribe. And as you volunteer to be that scribe, you're going to come back with your best practices that we're going to get to Robin. And we're going to come up, we as a whole will do a diversity analysis. Ron and I will do a diversity analysis so we can see what great outcomes and what great strategies we can come up with. So while I'm talking, you're going to be disappearing into your rooms. And I just wanted to say thanks to all the NABJ diversity ambassadors. Thank you, Ron, for that explanation. And you guys, let's get started. By the way, I'm going to take a screenshot now. So if you guys can wave. That's how I tell if you're listening, see? Thank you, we got it. All right, they're ready, Charlene. You can pull them into your rooms. I wanted him to come on board, so because I think his story is worth you guys telling. I wanted to bring on Pastor Richard Butler, who has addressed this engagement process that I was allowed to be a consultant to in diversity. Is Richie there?
Yeah, I'm here, Terry.
Pastor Richard Butler, how are you?
I can't complain. How about yourself?
Thank you. Could you share a story about what we're going to do with Together We Can? Because these are all editors and they may want to know about your story. And I'm just plugging it just selfishly.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Politico and National Association of Black Journalists for this opportunity. Just real quick, Project Unity. When George Floyd was murdered, if you're an African American, you probably got a call from your white friend or colleague asking the question, "What can I do?" And so, in response to that question, and we have a series of programs which you just participated in with our Together We Dine program. But so we decided to launch into Together We Can, and Together We Can is immediate, intermediary, and also long-term response to that question, "What can I do?" And there are three things we're asking people to do, and not just people, but corporations, organizations. And, we have Toyota to Invesco, bunch of about probably 25, 30 corporations and organizations that have leaned into the Together We Can program. But there are three things. First of all, wear the bracelet, and I have it on, and it's just a Together We Can bracelet. And, well, what's the big deal about a bracelet? A bracelet is a symbol, and symbols mean something. That's why, it's taken us, a long time to, start to rethink the Confederate monuments, because they represent something. But it says three things. It says that I'm not silent on this issue of racism. It says that I want to be part of the solution, anti-racist. And it also is an accountability piece. And the cool thing about our bracelet, so we're about to launch a program with Albertsons and Albertsons Tom Thumb here in North Texas, where we're based, and they'll be in 29 stores. And so we had them manufactured, but we've had them packaged, which is a cool story. We had them packaged in LA at a women's shelter women who have been, battered and abused. And so not only is it, we're getting bracelets, distributed in the community for our program, but we're also creating an economic program for this particular agency in LA. So we're excited about that component. But anyway, the bracelet is one thing. The second thing is we want millions of people wearing the bracelets. And we also have our Together We Dine program, which you guys had a simulation of that. And we want millions of people participating in the Dine program as a part of that, the Together We Can. And then the last piece of that is that our 1 hour per month. And that is, this is around lifestyle. And so the 1 hour, we offer a set of activities that one can do in an hour. And on a monthly basis, we provide those activities. And again, building a mindfulness and a lifestyle toward anti-racism. And so that doesn't just happen in one event. That is something that someone does on a daily basis.
Thank you, Pastor Butler. See, you go fulfill that stereotype. We can't shut pastors up. Oh, Robin's going to get me for that. So thank you, Pastor Butler. And I hope you guys will have some opportunity to show how we're changing the landscape with the way that you, as great people in the political organization, do reporting and bring diversity and change into your newsroom. It's always good. And I'm looking forward to seeing your stories from the Lions perspective after this. Robin, you want to close us out? Thank you guys for being here.